everyone.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to another episode of Take 47, where today we will be talking about something that I feel like is kind of just a recurring topic just outside of Take 47. A lot of people are in, agreement, they're in, in unison with this opinion, and it's about Adam Driver. And why Adam Driver is, without a doubt,
the most recognizable character from the sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
Exactly. And the most likable.
Yes.
Especially.
He is the one that I see time and time again being praised for his work, where all of the other actors, despite being good actors on their own, are being, crapped on and pushed aside.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Driver, though, has really kept the fans in good standing with his character, at least, in Star Wars episodes 6, 7,
or
7, 8, and 9.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we don't really need much of a history lesson on it, of course, because all of us have obviously lived through it.
Right.
But, a little bit of a brief synopsis, if you will. The sequel trilogy is not well received.
No.
The only one that got positive reviews, if any, was The Force Awakens.
Very first one.
And I personally still stand by the fact that I do really like Force Awakens. I will not say that I don't like it, even now.
The Force Awakens really genuinely stands up there for me as one of my favorite Star Wars movies. If for no other reason than because it introduced me to Kylo Ren. I am one of those people that really, really love the character.
Oh, yeah.
And
I completely agree. I'm with you on that.
And very special moment to see him on screen for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything I loved about I just loved everything about the character. His costume looked great. His lightsaber is one of my favorite lightsaber designs. But, of course, aside from all the, external elements of Kylo Ren, we of course have to look and, talk about the man behind the mask.
Mm-hmm.
The man who brings that character to life. And that is, of course, Adam Driver. In the entire sequel trilogy, every single movie, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, he has always been the best part.
100%.
And it is kind of unfortunate because the sequel trilogy does have a lot of great actors in it. I really like just the cast themselves. I really like.
They didn't skimp on the cast.
No, they didn't.
And yet it's so unfortunate that for some people, like I know people that Daisy Ridley and John Boyega have been ruined for, because of Star Wars.
And it's incredibly unfortunate because I really like Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
I really, really like John Boyega. I saw him originally in the Screen Gems film Attack the Block. That was...
Really?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. You ever seen Attack the Block?
I don't think I have.
It's a very wild movie. It's like an alien invasion in the kind of poorer side of London. And
I'm intrigued.
He plays John Boyega plays this main character. You're following this group of hood rats, if you will.
Wow.
And they're fighting this isolated alien threat.
I gotta watch that now.
Yeah, it's wild. It's a little goofy, but that's kind of the fun of it. It was a really fun movie. I really liked it, and I liked the designs of the aliens as well. They're jet black with weird fluorescent blue teeth. It's weird. That's the only thing you can see actually see is their teeth. It's weird.
What? I'm gonna watch that video, as well as all of our listeners that haven't should do the same thing, and we will deliver a topic about that video in a later episode.
Boom. Done.
Looking
Sounds
forward
like
to that. But back on the track of Star Wars.
Of course, yes. Adam Driver is he's so good. And I think we were very, very fortunate to have him play Kylo Ren. Because, it follows... His character is not entirely original.
How do you suppose?
He is in, his parents were, big heroes, and he's living in the shadow of their past, victories and glories and stuff like that, and he ends up, surprise, surprise, hating them and then turning evil. It's not something that has been It's not something that is brand new.
Yeah, that's pretty typical for the Star Wars experience.
Exactly. I mean, we literally had that with Anakin. You know, except his parents, you know, weren't, you know, crazy, you know, and had a lot of, you know, victories and whatever, but...
No, his parents were just poor street rats.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Closer
Anakin...
to Rey's parents, actually, I guess. Or, well, not Rey's. No, that is Rey's parents.
I mean, yeah, and then Rise of Skywalker, I mean, they were still kind of poor. They were just related to Palpatine. They just happened, I don't know. Let's just leave that movie out.
Right.
But Adam, undeniably, just the way he portrays the character, you can see, like, the struggle that the internal struggle that he has as Kylo Ren and Ben Solo. I think especially in Rise of Skywalker. I think there's that whole, like, he has that pain and that fear, but he also, at the same time, you can still kind of sympathize with him, and, like, you kind of don't hate him. So
yeah, you really learn to sympathize with this villain like never before in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
I feel like, because I think that it's because Adam Driver is such a trained performer.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He went to Juilliard, which, for any of our listeners who don't know, the Juilliard School of the Arts is in New York City, and they have different programs based for musical, theater, music in general, any form of the visual arts, really. And he went and he trained there. It's like the best of the best. And it's just so amazing that he turned the character of Kylo Ren into a character study. Like, I think that if they got any other actor to play Kylo Ren, it wouldn't have worked, because they wouldn't have put the same care that he did into that role.
No, I completely agree with you. There's no...
His arc is so calculated, from growing to the scared, afraid, almost still like a kid at the beginning of like an angsty teen.
Yeah,
in the Force Awakens. Chasing after Rey and you know, killing anyone that gets in his way. And we see that arc, he reaches a peak of that violence, and then he falls in love with Rey.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
Yeah.
That
was the one part of his arc that I really didn't like.
Technically, he didn't.
Okay.
It's now canon thanks to the novel
of
Rise of Skywalker.
Really? Oh my gosh, my heart rate is accelerating. This is exciting me. I'm like relieved.
That kiss was not because of love.
Oh wow.
It was never. No, I want to eliminate that Reylo garbage. I don't want to talk about Reylo.
We do not condone the shipping of Kylo Ren and Rey.
No, we don't. Especially since all 3 movies were basically him just... I mean, come on. The last movie, he almost killed her like 3 times. Can we talk about that? Some people...
He did, yeah.
There were some people who literally were like, it's just love. They love each other so much. Last time I checked, I don't remember trying to murder someone I actually have feelings for. Like, imagine having a crush for on someone, and... to show that love, you try to run them over with a car.
To show that love, you take them to the tattered remains of something that your grandfather built.
Yeah.
And then fight them on it.
Yep. You love them so much that you literally are about to... You love them so much that you could kill them. Like, your love is so strong that you just can't be with her, so you just kill her. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I... hate the idea of Reylo, especially since it is so obvious it is not even remotely possible in all 3 movies. And even at the end when they're working together, it is not because they love each other. It is because they both know what's right in that situation, and they worked together. Okay?
That makes me so happy, because it cheapened like everything. That was the
Oh
cheapest
my
part of the
God.
movie for me.
I know, and like that whole movie, I loved everything about Kylo Ren, and like his turn to the light, perfect. Everything, perfect, great, awesome. Literally, right when that kiss happened, I suddenly lost all investment in the movie, and
Yeah.
I basically slumped in my chair and went, "Okay, cool, great."
What a great way to... Oh, gosh. But, okay, enough about our gripes with the kiss scene here. We've talked enough about that.
Absolutely, it's now dead.
But back to how great Adam Driver was. I think that he was one of the best actors next to Mark Hamill.
I really wish that they had more scenes together.
Because the scenes in or like I guess the scene in
Last Jedi.
Yeah, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
In which they were fighting. Wow.
Yeah.
The chemistry, the actual tension and the electricity that you could feel between those two people.
Yep.
Wow.
It's really good, and
it made that whole movie worth watching, genuinely. I mean, just for the first time I was seeing it, I'll never watch it again, but but for the first time, made the whole thing worth it.
Yeah. I definitely think that his acting skills, his experience, and just how effective he is at just displaying this raw emotion, he really did stand up against people like Mark Hamill. Like he acted his heart out, and I really wish he had more interactions with the original characters. I mean, I really like the scene between Han and Kylo where they're on that catwalk and Adam or Kylo is like, your son is gone, and like then all of a sudden he like, of course we all know how that scene plays out, but like that whole interaction with Harrison Ford and Adam Driver, it did not feel like Harrison was out acting Adam. It literally felt like two people acting on the same spectrum, and it was this mutual ground. It was not one person was carrying the scene and the other one was just kind of riding on the coattails.
You make a great point, and I think it is a great distinction to make, because I see a lot of the articles and memes that say that Adam Driver carried the sequel trilogy. Mm-hmm. And while I think that it's true in the sense that Adam Driver is very standout in the sequel trilogy, Adam Driver does not outact any of the people he's ever in a scene with.
No.
He, like every amazing actor, works with them and tries to make their acting appreciated as much as they're trying to make his acting appreciated.
Exactly. It does not feel like a power struggle.
Yeah.
And that's great. Because like one example I can think of another two actors that didn't have a power struggle and it was a very mutual thing was Martin Scorsese's Gangs of New York with Daniel Day-Lewis and Leo DiCaprio. Both of those characters, or both of those actors,
amazing in their own right.
Yeah, exactly. Share so many scenes together. And, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is considered one of the best actors of all time.
Right.
And
honestly, so is DiCaprio.
Exactly. But this is a time where DiCaprio, if I remember correctly, was fresh off of Titanic. He was a lot younger than what he is now. He didn't have the experience that he has now with Django and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Really easy for a young actor like that to be cocky.
Exactly. And both of them share so many scenes together, but it never feels like a power struggle. It feels like both of them are just feeding off of each other's energy. And that makes a scene incredibly effective. I mean, if that wasn't something that happened, shows like Game of Thrones or movies like Lord of the Rings, or a lot of movies and shows with a lot of big character moments, they wouldn't be nearly as effective if actors didn't share the scene with their acting partner. And Adam is no exception. I think that he really does just his own performance really does work and blend perfectly with his partner. I mean, the interactions between Rey and Kylo in Rise of Skywalker, I really like. I like the tension between them, because, you know, one's painfully good and the other one is flawed.
Yes.
Leaning towards really bad. But he is redeemable. He doesn't want to be redeemed. She wants to redeem him. And like that
is the central
exactly
part of their struggle.
Precisely. And I mean, both of them play it perfectly, and Adam obviously has a little bit more to work, or has to work a little harder, because, you know, Rey is just, no, I'm a good person, but he's got to be good and bad. Like,
yeah, it feels like they gave the character development that Rey was lacking. That Rey was lacking, and just gave it to Adam Driver.
Yes,
he had so much extra.
Yeah, and the best thing is it works.
It does work.
And I think that just stems into Adam's capability in really anything. He's played a variety of different characters. He's been in dramas like Marriage Story just recently with Scarlett Johansson.
He won an award for that. Yes,
he did, and he was just also in Black Klansman, Spike Lee's Black Klansman. Yes. He played such a good part in that too. Adam, I think, is. I'd honestly.
What he's in.
Yeah, I not only that, but I'd also say he's underrated, because a lot of people don't really. I really don't think a lot of people appreciate Adam Driver as much as I think
I think it is? I think that Adam Driver has a very small group of people that love him a lot, because I've met people who are crazy about him.
Oh yeah.
But then I've met other people that don't even know who he is. Yeah. So it's I guess it's just, what you watch.
And to add on to that, I've met people who straight up hate him. I've
never met someone who hates him.
I know people who literally
haters, huh?
Yeah, they think he sucks as an actor.
Wow.
And it's crazy to me. I know. It's completely crazy to me. I completely disagree. But I really think that he should be up there with, in my eyes, and obviously this is entirely debatable, of course, I think he should be up there with DiCaprio. I think both of them are they're just incredibly talented actors, and I think Adam should be up there with him. I really think that both of them are just really, really good, and Adam, of course, has had a shorter career.
I think that the shortness of his career is really the main problem.
Yes.
Like people just have not gotten accustomed to it. Because it could very well be, I mean, do you remember Pharrell Williams?
Yes.
You remember how quick he was on the music scene? He was like here for 3 seconds. Daft Punk made an album with him and then never saw him again.
Yeah, he does a lot more behind the scenes stuff now. He's a big producer. That's it. He's not a. He doesn't really do anything.
But the only reason I bring him up is like Adam Driver could be phased out just as quickly.
Yes.
Like actors are that disposable to these big industries, especially, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Either might have him contracted for 10 more movies or, might throw that contract out.
Yeah.
It's just so easy for it to fluctuate.
Yeah. And what I think I love personally about Adam Driver, what I love about his acting skills just so much is he brings this intensity to his roles that just feels very real, especially in movies like Marriage Story, Black Klansman, and Rise of Skywalker.
I'm gonna challenge you to be a little bit more specific. Can you be a little bit more specific with real? I just want to know what you mean.
He scares me.
An intensity of he scares you.
When he gets angry, it feels very real. The iconic scene that I'm sure everyone has seen. I haven't even seen Marriage Story, and I've seen that scene where
he's yelling at her.
Yeah, where he's yelling at Scarlett Johansson, and he gets so pissed that he punches a wall.
Yeah.
And, like, that scene, really, really good. In Black Klansman, to give you a specific scene without giving too much away, in case some people haven't seen it, he shows up on the scene just as his partner, who is a black cop in the 60s, is getting arrested by his own police force. He keeps saying, I'm a detective, I'm a detective. When Adam Driver shows up, he, like, screeches in his car, and, like, he gets out of his car, and when they're like, who are you? And pardon my language, but Adam immediately gets out of the car, throws his badge at the cop, and goes, I'm an undercover cop, you fucking idiot. But, like, and the way, the intensity, right. Just the savagery.
It is palpable.
Yes, you sit there and you're like, oh my god.
You can feel his energy. That's what it is. He exudes so much energy in his performance that you pick up on it, you feed off of it.
Yeah, and I love moments like that. I love when an actor can pull it off, because, I mean, there are actors that, when they have those moments, it seems over the top. It's overacting. Something, for example, like Hayden Christensen in, like, Attack of the Clones, where he's like, the animals, so I they're animals, so I slaughtered them like animals, or, like, Revenge of the Sith.
When he screams, I hate you.
Exactly. It just seems like overacting. And no disrespect to Hayden Christensen, because
I like him.
I really like Hayden Christensen, and I do like Revenge of the Sith a lot. Can't say the same about Attack of the Clones, but Revenge of the Sith especially I really, really like. But Adam just has the skill set.
He has it.
Yes, quite literally. He just has it, and he's capable of delivering something that's just really raw. It feels incredibly real, and that's awesome, especially in Marriage Story. The way it seemed like he was so angry that he couldn't even get the lines out. Like, that's great.
You could see the struggle in him as, like, the human.
Yeah.
Was feeling that split as well.
Exactly.
And this phenomenon that you're talking about actually really influenced me in my viewing of Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. In like all of the scenes that I was watching him, I wasn't questioning what was happening. I wasn't like, that doesn't make sense with this because of this plot hole, and like, you gotta change that now, and that shouldn't have happened, which I was constantly doing with, you know, all the Rey scenes that I didn't like, and all of the Finn scenes that didn't go the way I wish they went.
Yeah.
And every time he was on the screen, it didn't matter if the movie was bad, I was watching Adam Driver.
Thank you so much for saying that, because I felt like I was in the minority for that. I mean, people, like, for example, like when we left Rise of Skywalker, when I came out of that movie, I said I loved it.
Yeah.
I had
initially it was
I had so much fun with it, and it's because if someone's giving a really good performance, I kind of just get sucked in, even if the movie is bad. So, you know, even like...
Because you want to give it a chance.
Yeah, and I've, especially just working at a theater now, I like want to give more chances, because I actually have the opportunity to basically see every single movie now. So I really do want to give these chances. So, you know, when I go in, or when I went into Rise of Skywalker, every single Kylo Ren scene, I was just, like, glued to the screen. And, I mean, I didn't care what the dialogue was. I didn't care if there was a massive plot hole. Like, in that moment, the performance that Adam Driver gave literally just throws me into the universe of Star Wars. I feel sucked in. I feel immersed.
Completely agree with you.
And then, of course, even after the fact, like, I know the sequels are not loved. There's a lot of people, a huge amount of people that hate all three. But I can never hate the entire sequel trilogy. Just because of the performances. It's really just the performances. Kylo Ren being, of course, the main part. Like, I
think that's really important, what you just said there.
What?
Just that...
The performances?
That the performances of the sequel trilogy are fantastic.
Yes.
Everybody plays their character very well.
Yeah. If they just kept those characters...
The writing, however, I cannot say the same. The storyline, again, cannot say the same.
Exactly, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Adam is capable of taking garbage writing material and, at least in the moment, without even thinking too much about it, you're just enthralled and you love it.
It's because he lives in the moment.
Exactly.
He's in the moment, and he makes you stay with him in the moment, and he doesn't let you fall behind.
Yes. And that's what I love about Adam Driver. Like, in any other situation, like even in watching, you know, the argument scene in Marriage Story, like when he punched the wall, personally, I thought it was a little tacky because he was kind of far away from the wall, and it seemed like he just kind of ran to it and then punched it. Yeah. And like I personally was like, all right, that's a little much, but like in the moment when I was initially watching it, I was enthralled. Like it was this really just amazing performance. And I don't know if it was an improvised moment. I don't know if it was a beat that they wanted him to, you know, take in the script. I don't know if the script was DLP or Dead Letter Perfect, where everything had to be what the script is, because I know there are some screenwriters
some screenwriters are
and
really
some directors
picky.
They do not like it when an actor kind of, you know,
Ad-libs.
changes a word or something, and some people are very, very uptight about that sort of thing. I don't know necessarily, but of course brings back to, you know, in the moment I thought it was a really, like, just a great scene, and his performance is fantastic. And I think Adam, I want to see him in more things. My complaint with him is he's just as sparse as DiCaprio. You barely see him.
I do wish that he, like, put out a few more movies to tide us over. Yeah. But you're right, he takes his time, which isn't a bad thing. No. I mean, it's only a bad thing because we wish that we could see more of his work.
Exactly. It's the same thing with every...
I'll wait for Adam Driver.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. If I had it my way, you know, I'd love to see him like at least every 2 years or so. But like, you know, it's the same situation like with Tarantino and DiCaprio and like Ewan McGregor. You just don't see them a lot, but when you do see them, it's a really awesome time.
Yeah,
even if the movie's bad. Even if the movie's bad, you know that they're at least going to give a fun performance. Like, for example, in Birds of Prey. I didn't like Birds of Prey.
I don't think many people did.
No, but I loved Ewan McGregor in it. I really did. I wish he was in it more. A lot of people don't like the sequel trilogy, and I'm one of the people who leans more towards the side of where I don't like the sequel trilogy. I don't
either.
I don't hate it as much as
some people we know.
Yeah, except for Last Jedi. But
truly a disaster.
But Adam Driver's performance along with everyone else. Yeah, honestly, yeah, disaster piece. But Adam Driver's performance along with everyone else's, but his especially, is why I still kind of go back to it. Like, since they've added Rise of Skywalker to Disney Plus, there are specific scenes that I watch. It's the Death Star fight, because I still stand by the fact that I love that fight.
That's my favorite scene in Star Wars. One of my favorite fights in Star Wars.
It could be your favorite. I have no problem with you saying it could be. It's your favorite. It's definitely, I think, one of.
It was denouncing my own favorites, though.
Oh,
like I forgot of my own favorite. You ever do that? You ever forget your own favorite?
Yeah,
thing?
Like in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, that's my favorite. Wait, no, no, that's my favorite. Yeah,
you gotta be loyal to the first one.
Yeah. The entire beginning where it was nothing but Kylo Ren just doing Kylo Ren things, just killing everything, and then flying, and then talking to Palpatine. Love that.
Doing some tricks.
And I still love Exegol. I think it's a really cool place. And then,
I wish it was utilized more.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's actually about it. That's basically it. That's all I watch with Rise of Skywalker now. It's just the Death Star.
Those are some exhilarating moments.
Those were like the best moments in the movie. Like when the movie started off like that, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, I hope this just continues. And then it didn't, but that's fine.
It's also fun to watch Palpatine just like
go
sicko mode and
right
with the lightning in the sky.
Yeah, okay, that was a cool part too. But like Adam, he's the reason I still kind of watch the sequels, except for Last Jedi. Even then he couldn't save it. But
yeah, that one's not on him.
Yeah, but like he just constantly, it's just his the amount of effort he puts into the role.
Really about the craft for him.
Exactly, and that's what attracts me so much to just him in whatever movie he's in. I know that I'm at least going to see a really good performance from him.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I hope continues. I hope we get to see him in more movies. I can't wait to see him in the next movie he's in. And
ever think he could do a horror movie? Like, horror movies are kind of on the rise right now.
Yes, and I think a horror movie done right would 100% would be fantastic. If he was in something like, oh yes, because I was bringing this up before we recorded, when we got our coffee and tea or whatever at Dunkin'. I want him to work with Robert Eggers.
We need him to work with Robert Eggers.
Yes, and more primarily, Robert Eggers, still not letting it go, by the way, about Lovecraft adaptation, Call of Cthulhu.
A Call of Cthulhu movie.
Exactly. Something Cthulhu-related or Lovecraftian.
You're the guy to do it.
Absolutely.
Everyone knows it. You know it. It's free real estate.
Exactly.
Take it.
I mean, come on. You made The Lighthouse. It's basically a Lovecraft story.
You had like it halfway there.
I mean, come on. We saw the spooky tentacles and like Neptune Willem Dafoe. Like, come on.
Neptune Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, remember when he was like the weird like barnacle-looking dude?
And it was great.
It was fantastic. But I want also Adam Driver's in it already. Sorry.
We decided that for you.
Yeah, we were sitting here thinking about it and was like, yeah, by the way, you're making a Call of Cthulhu adaptation or anything, Lovecraft for that matter, and Adam Driver's going to be the star. Make it happen. Please. Thank you. We're not letting that go.
Oh, no.
It is going to be in every episode, I swear to God. So, I...
Just make it happen, Robert Eggers. You're the one that has the power to end all this.
Absolutely.
And by end all this, we mean make all this.
Watch it be bad.
No.
It could never. At least the aesthetic and Adam Driver's performance will be fantastic.
Yes.
Because Adam can't make it bad. Have a bad performance. And so far, at least.
Yeah, that's really the too long didn't listen to this video. Adam Driver's great, and you should love him too.
Yeah. So kind of the closing statements. Would you like anything else to say about Mr. Adam Driver?
In what has already been a love letter to Mr. Adam Driver, I just think that he needs to be appreciated, and I think that he needs to keep getting the praise and the compliments that he gets, because I think he deserves them. And I want him to be in more things. And I hope that he's not just a 15 minutes of fame kind of guy. All right, that's my last PS. So
well said. Very well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. Adam really is just this fantastic actor. I love his performances in every movie I've seen him in. I want to see more, and I absolutely look forward to that Robert Eggers horror movie he's going to be in.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's happening.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you very much. If you guys liked what you saw here, we do have a bunch more episodes that we've already released and are coming out with. So
Comes
stay
out
tuned.
every Tuesday.
Every single Tuesday.
On the TGB channel.
Absolutely. Without further ado, we will see you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.